cigar box, humbucker pickup. We are tuned to open E. Big string is E. The next string is a B, another E, and a G sharp. Open G tuning. So I picked this up about 20 minutes ago, and this song just popped out. So I figured, what the heck, might as well do a lesson on this one. So this one, as you can tell, is a small box, acoustic electric. This is also a box that I make the cigar box guitars out of, the full length of a 25.5-inch scale guitar. So it's interesting how this one, it looks matched pretty well with the length of the neck, right? But a regular guitar neck is going to be way longer than this. So it actually works pretty well. The size of this box, I think, works pretty well with the length of the neck on this one. So humbucker pickup, acoustic electric, all the other accoutrements and accessories are just like my regular cigar box guitars, with the tuners and the fret markers and the whole deal there. So let's get right to it. This one is a really bright tone. It's got a cool bass tone too, though, with the bass string. So the bass string isn't overpowered by the brighter, smaller strings. And depending on the string gauge and the basic design of the guitar, sometimes the upper strings are much brighter and they kind of overpower the bass strings. But on this one, it's pretty much even, which is what you want. It's got a great tone. So as usual, I'm playing through the Cube 10GX by Boss, and details for that amp are below in the notes for all of my cigar box guitar lessons, because I use this amp pretty much exclusively for these lessons because it's small, it's got a great sound, I can crank it up and get a nice overdrive to it without it being too loud for the for these videos. Sometimes you shoot a video and the guitar amp is just way too loud. But I also use that amp for all my gigs. I do solo and duo assisted living gigs, and I play electric and acoustic guitar through that same amp. So check out the details below if you're interested in more information on that amp. Alright, so let's get right to it. So this time I'm using a pick. Most of the time I don't use a pick, but on these small guitars, it just feels more natural to me. It's harder, much harder to play with my fingers on these, so I use a pick on this one. And this is kind of a floppy pick, which is what you want, at least most people want, for a mandolin. It's pretty thin, and in fact, it might even have the exact, yep, it does. It's a 0.73, and I just happen to have this laying around, which works really good, really well for a ukulele, because this is a short scale and you don't want heavy strings, you want a nice bright tone. So the thinner the pick, the better, as far as I'm concerned, on these mandolins and ukuleles. So when I'm using my third finger on that first string, and I am at the, let's see, what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8th fret on the first string. And I'm going to walk down. So I'm going to go down from 8th on the first string. I'm going to go down to the 7th, and then I'm going to go down to the 5th, and then the 3rd, and 0. So I'll play the individual notes. I'm strumming all the strings because I'm tuned to an E chord, so you've got that E chord going through the entire song. So there's a couple ways we can do this part here. So I can do a bar. That's 0, 3, 5, 3, 0. And you can use any kind of variation on this. This is, again, something I just made up the other day, so you can have at it and edit it and change it all you want. So what's the strum pattern here? Notice how I'm changing directions. I'm starting on the down. Then when I get down to this part, which is going to be the 3rd fret, 5th fret, and then 0, I'm doing up strums. And the reason is I want the tiny little first string to be louder. So if I strum down, the first string will be overpowered by the bigger string. So I do ups if I want the first string to be louder than the other ones. So really solidified this song, so I might play some parts slightly different from time to time, so your mileage may vary on this. So I'm going 3rd fret, barring all the way across, and then 5th fret, 3rd fret, 0. Again, all the way across with the first finger and then the 3rd finger. Now what's real important here is the strum pattern. So I'm skipping some down strums. I'm going. I am playing some down strokes, but I'm skipping some as well. Remember, that whole part right there, I'm only fretting on the first string. Now I'm changing it. Notice how I'm changing and doing some upstrokes. Right here. Just kind of improvising here, going from 5 to 3 to 0. Now I am choking some too with my fingers. So I'm strumming all 4 strings to show you this part. So I'm choking everything with that hand. I'm just lifting off the fretboard, but I've got my fingers on the strings. I'm just not pushing them all the way down. For those of you who have played guitar and maybe mandolin for a while, you already know how to do this, but a lot of beginners are wondering, how does that choke happen? How does that chord get chopped off there? One more thing. I'm lifting my finger off that first string so I can kill those notes. Whoops. So I'm going din, 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 din. And the way that I'm choking those notes is by simply lifting the string off the fretboard. So if I play, for instance, the first string, let's just say on the 3rd fret, and all the other ones are open. So that first string is being choked because I'm lifting my finger. It's actually making one of the other strings ring. So what I'm doing here is I'm just lifting off the fretboard, so you have the other strings resonating, vibrating, but the first one is killed. That's a little trick that makes it sound like you've got 2 people playing at the same time. It sounds like one person is playing the chords and the other person is playing the melody. That's pretty much how open tune anything sounds, like guitar, banjo, or ukulele, or whatever. So there's really not a whole lot going on, but it sounds like there is. All right, one more little trick here that you can do. You can bar all the way across all 4 strings for a nice fat sound, or you can do the same thing on either 1, 2, 3, or 4 strings. 2 at a time, 3 at a time. You can skip a couple. So a few minutes ago, I had my 2nd finger on the 3rd string and my, 3rd finger on the 1st string. These mandolins and ukuleles are really a lot of fun to experiment with because it really sounds like you've got 2 people playing, and it's a nice full sound. One more thing, you can use the outside strings or any kind of combination thereof. So I'm going to use my 3rd finger on 1, 3, and my 2nd finger is going to be on 3, 3. I'm not even strumming the 4th string. Notice how that 2nd time I went through, it's a bigger sound because I'm playing all 4 strings. So it really does sound like 2 people playing. It's a lot of fun to experiment with these ukuleles and mandolins made out of the cigar boxes. They have a great tone. They resonate the wood really well, so you have a nice bright acoustic tone. So I'm going to turn off my amp real quick and give you an idea what it sounds like acoustically. Not very loud. And at first you might think, wow, how could you be playing that at a gig, right? Because the volume's so low, which is why I put the humbucker pickup in. And the wood box really does resonate really well when you plug it in. Of course, it's resonating really well when you don't plug it in. It's the same resonation, it's just that it's amplified. Please check out my website, jagshouse.com, cigar box guitars and ukuleles and diddly bows and dog ball resonators and all sorts of other wacky stuff. jagshouse.com since 2004. 20 years? Wow, no wonder my beard is gray. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, and we'll see you next time.